So you want to know how to host. Why? I'm just playing. You got to learn it. It's all in levels. It's all in layers. Let's go learn. All right? All right. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, it's the J to E to RROLD, and you want to be a host. You want to host, you want to get started in this comedy game. I got you. Now, let me tell you, I don't like hosting. It's a necessary thing. You gotta host. You gotta host. It's a great way to build up material, learn how crowds work, learn how other comedians work, understand the whole dynamics of a comedy show. So it is absolutely necessary to host. After a while, it's just a hassle. It's a pain. Hosting means that you got to be at the show early. It means that you got to be there for the whole show. You got to have end credits at the end of the show, whatever they're doing. You know, hey, make sure you let them know who's going to be on the next month's worth of shows, and then we're going to have a raffle. You know, you got to do all that. Also, you get to deal with pain in the neck headliners that have like 1 million credits they want you to say before they go up. So if you ain't got enough to remember, you got some egomaniac telling you, make sure you get this show, and that I was on one episode of this, and that I also did this podcast and this and that. And guess what? No one gives a flying fizzle what you've done. Be funny. That's it. Now, granted, they will tend to like to hear that you were on, you know, some TV show or you're touring the world or something like that. That might pique them up a little bit, but overall, they don't know and they don't care. Be funny right now. That's it. But beside that, hosting. What do you do when you host? You open up the show. You're responsible for setting a tone. You're the hype man for the show. You're the one that makes the show look incredible. You start it off. Yo, what's up, everybody? Get them amped up. And then you want to figure out what's going on in the crowd. One thing I like to do when I host is you know, just get a feel of all the different types of people who, you know, you gotta do the usual, who's got a birthday, who's married, who's not married, who's single, old people, whatever the case is, or if it's a special type of event, if it's like a bar mitzvah, I don't know, whatever you're doing, you know, you're gonna gather information for that. And a lot of times your feature and your headliners, they may be listening in the back to catch these clues to get an idea of what they're gonna do, you know, how they're gonna go off the cuff a little bit. You set the tone of the show. That's what you do. You set the tone. Okay, they this kind of crowd. I've gone and I've watched the host get up there and they may be going straight clean. They're just saying some little basic clean jokes. And then all out of the blue, they say something nasty, something blue in comedy terms, blue. Blue meaning possibly nasty or absolutely nasty. Well, anyway, they say something blue and then the crowd starts laughing out of nowhere. And then they start talking clean again, the crowd lowers down. So I realized at that moment, oh, this crowd want to get a little spicy tonight. So I know I can do what I want to do. Now, it can also work the other way. They can come out being blue and nasty and the crowd's not really reacting too much. And they say a decent kind of laid back, simple, clean joke and the crowd laughs. So now I might go a little less blue than I was. I usually have a little bit of blue in me. That's my comedy styling. But, you know, it gives you a chance to figure out, as a headliner or as a feature or anybody else on the show other than the host, to figure out what type of crowd they're going to be dealing with. So that's your job. Get them amped up. Hit them with that dope material you've written. Now, one of the key things I usually talk to new comics about as far as hosting is not only you're building your set while you're up there. You're getting a lot of stage time. People who tend to host, you can host a lot of shows and you can do it for little or nothing, or, you know, you will do it for little or nothing. But it gives you a chance to get a lot of stage time and practice your material, which will move you on to the next level quicker. See what I'm saying? So you want to go up there and you want to have your pre-written material, but you also want to be thinking about how to up that ante. Because the best thing I will tell you to do when you're hosting is learn to freestyle. Learn to go off the cuff. Some of y'all are comedians because you know how to go off the cuff. That's why you got into comedy in the first place, is because wherever you at, from a workplace or a school, and you sitting there and people say something and you hit them back with something quick, they go, wow, you funny as hell. And then you go, I want to be a comedian. That's the reason why you do it, because of that quick-wittedness. You know how to react to certain situations quickly. So this comes in handy when you're hosting. When you get that crowd out there and you're looking at whatever and people are saying things, whip it back at them. Figure out things to say. When I first started hosting, I started to understand the dynamics of the crowd, and I started seeing the same things over. You always see the birthdays, you always see the weird couple. There's always something. There's kind of a thing at every show you see. So I started making stock jokes for those things, like stock wedding jokes or stock interracial dating jokes or stock old people jokes, whatever the case may be. I had a joke for that, so when they would show up, boom, I could hit them with that joke, and it was like, wow, how do you know? Because if you do it right, it doesn't look like you have pre-written jokes. From that, I learned how to just say whatever I want to say anyway. So it wasn't a matter of having pre-written jokes, it was just knowing the different types of groups of people and being able to say something. This is where you don't realize that you have a brain full of useless information. You do. Your brain is full of dumb, stupid, ignorant stuff. TV show theme songs that you got, old little sayings that people used to tell you, your parents, your grandparents used to tell you. Just the most simplest, ignorantest stuff that's burned into your brain can be the funniest stuff on stage. And never believe that you know something that you don't think other people will understand or know or whatever. There's nothing you did or will ever do that some other human hasn't done. Or the odds of you doing something that the 50 to 100 people in the crowd haven't done is damn near impossible. So never fear about saying whatever you want to say. Whatever's in your mind, say it. Make it your material. I'm telling you, it'll work. It'll work. All that useless information in your head that's kind of your thing, give it to the crowd. And you'll be surprised. They go, oh my God, I didn't know you remembered that. That was a show I used to watch back in 1960. Boom. I know so many useless theme songs and so many sitcoms and movies and shows, and they come in handy. I'm telling you, little quotes from movies that you've seen a million times. Those quotes come in handy. Don't be afraid to use them. You got a plethora of material, and you got a lot up here that you don't realize that you can use, okay? Always remember, there's couples in the audience. If you are 22 years old and there's an 80-year-old couple out in the audience, or if you do a show and there's 180-year-old couples in the audience, never feel like, oh, I don't have anything I can relate to them. The hell you don't. There ain't nothing you doing that any 80-year-old person didn't do. If you had sex in the back seat of your car, so did they. If you I don't know if you had a venereal disease. There's somebody in the audience had one too. There's nothing. The only difference is technology increases, but the ideas of relationships are the same. It's the same crap. It's just done in different cars with different phones. All right. So never feel that you're in a position or you're surrounded by people that you don't have something in common with. That's a thing I also tell like a host is that it's the similarities that bring us together, and we all have them. We're all human. There's only a finite amount of things that all humans do. So trust me, one of those things you're doing, somebody in a different age group or a different area of the world, they do it too. You know what I'm saying? What, you think people in Costa Rica don't have sex? They have it just the way Americans do. So don't feel that you're doing anything somebody else doesn't do, okay? Here's an example of like me freestyling / hosting. I'm actually not hosting, but it's the same idea. I pick people in the audience, I have conversations with them, I build up bits and pieces from each person, then I can turn it into something. We've all done it. You can do it. It's not a hard thing to do. So remember a few things. Use hosting to your advantage. First of all, hosting will get you more hosting, it'll get you a lot of work. You'll stay working. Keep hosting at the beginning. Use that time to make a lot of material. Don't just go up there and do your little 5 minutes that you have and move on to the first comic. Do that 5 minutes, try something else, see if it works. If it doesn't work, it's just, it intermingles with your freestyle. If you're up there and you say something that's not funny, you just keep it going. It's not a big deal. If it works, it works. Guess what? Now you got a new piece for your act. You got something to work with. You see what I'm saying? Take advantage, get your jokes up, use those, let the bookers and other folks see that you are funny besides being a host, and you can move on to other things. Learn your crowd. Learn the crowd. You are a hype man for the show. You represent everybody that's coming up. You're giving them the opportunity to get a good feeling of how the direction of the show is going to go. And you're getting them excited. You're getting them ready for the upcoming show. Hey, it's about to be popping, and it starts with me. You see what I'm saying? You have a very important role in this show. You're gonna start it up, baby. You are an airplane. You taxi it, and you're going faster and faster and faster. You're gonna take off, and then the show continues from that. You know what I'm saying? When the first comic comes up, and she does her thing, and they get off the stage, keep that energy moving, keep it moving. If you're a strictly set comedian, that's where the difficulties can happen sometimes. If you're a strictly, I go by the book, I just do my set, and somebody comes up and they just ripped it, and you got a whole different style of comedy, it can be a little difficult at times to keep that flow of energy, because the energy may be here, and then you might bring it back down because you're a whole different type of comic with a lower energy than the person that just came off the stage. That tends to be a booker's problem. Whoever's putting the show together tends not to put the right type of comics together. So you'll have a low energy host and high energy comics. It's the craziest thing. But that's on the booker to make sure that everybody fits together at the show. But it's your job regardless to do your part. And as the host, you kind of run the show. You're that gel between each comic. You keep the flow of the show going. When you watch Def Comedy Jam, when you watch any of these other comedian shows, you saw a lot of times they specifically have really good hosts that have funny material, they're off the cuff, and they know how to keep the flow of the show going. Martin Lawrence used to murder Def Comedy Jam. He used to come out there, amp up the crowd. Usually the comics weren't as funny as him, but he could bring it right back up. He bring that energy back up and get it ready for the next one. You see what I'm saying? So it's an important job. It's a job a lot of us don't like, and once you move out of that job, you don't really want to go back into it. But it's an important job. So you mean a lot to the show is what I'm telling you. You mean a lot to each comic. You mean a lot to the show. You mean a lot to the booker. So learn your craft. Learn your craft. Be a funny comic. Know your crowds. Start learning your crowds. Some crowds are high energy. Some crowds are low energy. Some crowds want clean. Some crowds want dirty. Be individual. Learn to use other people's material in your hosting. Take a bit of that, and this is where that freestyle comes in. So learn freestyle. Learn how to go off the cuff. And you know a lot. You know a lot more than you know. Remember, there's a lot of stuff going on in here. All that useless information, put it to use, all right? Stay up on current affairs. Watch the news. Watch current affairs. Keep up with what's going on in the world. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how many people will relate to what you're saying, okay? And have fun. I don't like hosting, but I'm saying have fun while you're doing it. And you'll get better and better and better until you don't have to host anymore. And the next time you host, after you get really good to a headliner status, they'll start paying you headliner pay to host. You see what I'm saying? So you can get there. Just hustle, keep it moving and popping, all right? Now, first thing, I want you to make sure that you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to me, Comedian JerroldB. I got a lot more stuff I'm gonna put up for you. Check it out. Funny for no damn reason. I got the merch on my merch site, JerroldBmerch.com. Get yourself something over there, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe, like, make sure you like the video, all right? Helps me out. I appreciate all the love I get from y'all. Make sure you follow me on all social media, Instagram, TikTok, right here on YouTube, Facebook, whatever. I don't even know some of the stuff, okay? All right? I'll be back with you soon with more stuff on how to get your stand-up comedian on. All right? I'm out. And one other thing I'll say. Okay. And feel free to keep a mic around. I keep a mic around when I'm practicing my art, I can really get into what I'm doing. I can put this mic, I can set it up, like not now because this is annoying, keeps bumping into but you can set this mic up and you can use it to fall down, or you can it's a good way to practice, you get into your head, it's a great, I've used it for years. where I can imagine the crowd out there. I can imagine different types of people in the crowd, and I can take this microphone and I'll stand there with my mic. And I've kind of taken the style of, what's his name? Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. I love the way he uses his mic regardless. He's always got his mic and he's got like the scarves all hanging off of it. I don't want to take that, but I like that. But visualizing is a great way to get your comedy up too. Picture that crowd, picture what you want to achieve, picture the reaction you want from them, and work it that way. All right, you're gonna be good. I promise you, you're gonna be good. Do your thing. All right, I'm out. Again, I'm out.